How you doing, wrestling fans? It's Saturday morning in Nashville, and that means Music City Wrestling is on the air. Today we got a great show. Right now I'm here in Dickson, Tennessee at the Dickson Convention Center in Freeport. We're waiting for a hot night of wrestling action. Talking about a hot night of wrestling action tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena. Gonna be a big one. Starts at 8 o'clock. We want to see you tonight in the front row at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We got a hot one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a brief look at this Frenchy Riviera Shane Eden versus Tennessee Volunteers feud. This is a quick montage of how this is built up to why we're having the match tonight. You know, Stephen Dunn was out here earlier saying Frenchy stuck his nose in their business. Heck, it was the Volunteers who broke into a match that was already going on between Shane Eden and Frenchy Riviera. Once again, the Tennessee Volunteers thinking they can run roughshod over everything. This is why we're having the big tag team match tonight.
Now a reversal by Frenchy. Whoa! Power slam, that may do it. 1, 2, 3. He got him. Did he get him? Wait a minute.
He got him. He pinned him.
We got a second. What is this?
That's class right there.
No,
that's
these
class.
are the Volunteers.
That's the Volunteers. Stephen Dunn, he's fired up. Setting on ready. Looks like go time.
Reno Riggins backing off Frenchy Riviera.
Get him some more help.
Frenchy and Reno Riggins and Steve Dunn are going to work on Style and Shane Eden. Frenchy Riviera.
Right. We need to get some Billy Joe. Somebody else come out and help him kick his face in. We need a little more help out
right
here.
At him. Look at this. Reno Riggins backing Frenchy off again, as it looks like Steve Dunn and Reno want to take care of Shane on their own now. Whoa, look at this. Some words between Reno Riggins and Frenchy Riviera. I don't know if we caught that. Looks like Frenchy is getting a little upset in the
Frenchy
ring.
just needs to take care of business and stand there and shut up.
Whoa, look at this! What has gotten into Frenchy Riviera? He's going to work on the Volunteers himself. Gotta bring them together. Whoa, they're going right after him now.
I have seen it all. Here comes thunder from down under.
Frenchy Riviera, double clothesline. Frenchy Riviera is actually helping the man that he was just in the match with, Style and Shane Eden. What a turn of events. It looked as if Style and Shane was going to be manhandled by the Volunteers and Frenchy Riviera. There was some words with Reno Riggins and Frenchy. And whoa, we have got something new and unique here in MCW.
Well, it's time for another Volz update. And that's V-O-L-Z. Because when you're the best, you do it with zest. And now, I'd like to show everybody at home what happened in Dickson, Tennessee, when you invite the chairman of the board to a match with Shane Eden and that big fat tub of goo, Frenchy Riviera.
Your winner, ladies, find out, Shane Eden and Frenchy Riviera. Ring the bell.
Now Shane Eden and that big fat tub of goo, Frenchy Riviera, boys, you're going to be stepping in the ring tonight with the Southern Tag Team Champions. I figured by now you boys would already understand me and Mr. Dunn here have already retired more people than Social Security. And you're going to find out why, because in Dickson, that's not even an appetizer of what we're going to do to you two boys tonight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I give you the chairman of the Tennessee Volunteers, Mr. Stephen Dunn.
Well, let me tell you something, Reno. Let's sum it up like this. You know, the last few years, you hear people in the WWF and WCW talking about sports entertainment. Well, let me tell you something. Last Saturday night in Nashville, the only people that were entertained seemed like it was me, you, and Big Mabel. Because Doug Gilbert, you're off eating Jell-O or doing something, laid up on your back. You may never be back in professional wrestling again. Everybody used to call you dangerous. Well, you're not so dangerous now. Now, Frenchy, I hope you were watching real close what you're in for, boy. You know, you should have just kept your nose out of our business, and you'd have been sitting in the dressing room on our side, sitting back there eating your chocolate pie, eating your donuts like you should have been, but you stuck your nose in our business. So tonight in Nashville, you got the Volunteers. There's an old saying, Reno, be careful for what you wish for because you just might get it. Well, you got your shot. Make the most of it, because let me tell you something. When you're the greatest tag team in professional wrestling today, and you're breaking bones, putting people out, and winning titles, what do they call you?
The Tennessee Volunteers, baby.
You know what? Don't even try to beat us. Just try to survive.
Before you even get started, Michael St. John, take a look at that big, fat, slob Frenchy Riviera and no teeth Shane Eaton. Frenchy Riviera so fat. How fat is he? He needs a VCR for a beeper. And Shane Eaton so skinny, he can hula hoop through a Cheerio.
I got to tell you, Billy Joe Travis, they may be an unorthodox tag team here in MCW, but I have never heard a crowd reaction as they came through the dressing room door. The team is Ladies Night Out. Frenchy Riviera.
Ladies Night Out.
And Stylin' Shane Eaton.
The back of Frenchy's neck looks like a pack of hot dogs.
Right now, Jason Lee, one of their opponents, he and the Thug Mike Maverick. Mike Maverick, Jason Lee teaming up against Ladies Night Out. Billy Joe, you know, I know you're loaded for bear. I know that you've been looking down this card and seeing that Frenchy Riviera and Stylin' Shane Eaton were coming out here, and you're going to talk about how much they weigh and what they look like and a before and after Nutrisystems a commercial and all that stuff. But let me say this, it may be an unorthodox team, but these are two of the best wrestlers, not only in MCW, but the world today, and they are definitely going to climb that ladder. And I'm going to make a prediction to you today and to these fans. It would not surprise me to see Stylin' Shane and Frenchy to be the new tag team champions within the next month or two.
Well, I'm sick of this. Man, there's two words Frenchy needs to learn how to say, like, I'm full. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, woo, the Hindenburg.
Right now, Billy Joe, I tell you.
Well, you better tell me something.
I'm going to tell you something. You say some of the things that I'd get shot for saying. I don't know how you can get away with it.
I can get away with anything. I'm Billy Joe Travis, sweet music man. Shane Eaton got 3 teeth, 2 in his mouth and 1 in his pocket. 1 in his pocket ain't even his.
Right now, Shane Eaton has things going his way, but Jason Lee had to go into the eyes to slow things up. Tag is made. Here is Mike Maverick, the Thug, in the ring. And right away, Shane Eaton goes right to work, makes the tag to his partner, Frenchy Riviera. You don't want to fool with Frenchy. Let's see how they team together.
Right now, Michael, these two guys have no chance with Frenchy Riviera and Shane Eaton.
Low bridge over the Cumberland River for Mr. Maverick, and Frenchy going right to work on him. One thing about Frenchy Riviera, he may be teaming with Shane Eaton, but his style of wrestling has not changed.
Oh, man, I'm sick of hearing about Frenchy Riviera. His head is so big when he goes to sleep at night, he don't dream he has some movies.
Frenchy Riviera is just taking the fight right at the Thug Mike Maverick.
He's throwing the fist, Michael. Something that I do not do. I throw the forearm every shot.
He may throw his weight around, but the fact of the matter is he does it with authority. And this tag team, thus far in this match, this is my first opportunity to see them work together as a team, are doing quite well. But Maverick taking a shortcut, going down below on Stylin' Shane Eaton. And boy, what a snap suplex. Eaton may have popped the back of his head, and that could take a lot out of this young man.
How would you like to see Frenchy touch his toes?
Yeah, and I know your next joke is he hasn't seen his toes in 5 years.
Yes, he's got toe jam all in him, those stanky feet.
Right now.
There's a good kid, that Jason Lee.
Yeah, right here he's coming right into the ring. After the tag was made, the Thug holding Stylin' Shane Eaton, and Stylin' Shane
There you go, kid.
taking a beating over in the corner of Mike Maverick and Jason Lee. Look at Lee. He's circling him like a buzzard looking for roadkill.
There you go, Jason.
Belly-to-belly suplex. Down goes
I've been training that boy.
You've been training Jason Lee?
Yes, for about 7 weeks. And look at him. He wrestles just like Billy Joe.
I hope you've
Nothing
been
but pure
I hope you've just been
scientific wrestling. Let me finish. Pure scientific wrestling, just like Billy Joe.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the science that you've been using probably is out of the lab of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So,
Tag is made. Here's the thug Mike Maverick. You said you've been working with Jason Lee. I hope you haven't taught him to sing.
yeah, well, he's a bass player. He's not a singer. Look at Frenchy. Somebody needs to call paramedics. He's got his head on backwards. Look. Get a shot at Frenchy Riviera. He's got his head on backwards. Call the paramedics.
Oh, come on. Billy Joe Travis. The comments here of Billy Joe Travis on MCW, not the comments of MCW, I can assure you. And right now,
I'm gonna ask you one question. What is wrong with Frenchy Riviera's forehead? It's brown or yellow or what? What is that? Is that he can't sleep on his back or what?
I think Frenchy Riviera is just fine. You know, he had his head shaved not too long ago. He's keeping his hair very neat, trim, close to the top now. Here's a snap. Oh, look at that. Whoa.
This might be over with.
Mike Maverick, it looked to be a slam, a scoop slam, then he turned it into an inverted pile driver, and Style and Shane Eaton fell head first into the canvas.
That's what I need to get little Jason Lee to do. Cover him when the man's hurt, man. Cover him.
Right now, Style and Shane, whipped into that turnbuckle.
Go get him. Don't be posing, baby. Don't be posing like Billy Joe. Your body ain't up to his yet.
That's the first time I've seen him act like Billy Joe the whole match.
So?
Snap mare, down goes Eaton. Oh, drop kick.
Beautiful. I taught him that yesterday. 1, 2, and
If I may,
so slow.
If I may insert something right here, and you are taking claim for the fact that you're teaching this man. Well, I'll say this much: Jason Lee has improved since the last time I saw him. I don't know what's happened to him, but he has improved in the ring. Tag is made. Here's the thug Mike Maverick coming in.
He's improved about because I have been training him. You got him, baby. You got him.
Inverted pile driver. Down he goes. This should be it.
Cover him. All you've got to do is cover him. That's it.
Tag is
Uno,
made.
duo, treo. I speak Spanish. Yes, I do.
What's Jason Lee telling the referee? You said you've trained him. All right, make him cover. Oh, that's
Uno,
not a cover.
Duo.
Rolls him up. 1, 2. Count of 2. All he got.
Ooh, he pulled his hair, though.
Shane Eaton took a pile driver a minute ago. I didn't think he was going to get up, but that shows the strength and the power and the agility and the training of this man, styling Shane Eaton. Style and Shane.
He's doing Billy Joel's world-famous move.
Yeah.
No. It's
nobody home. That looked like Billy Joe's world-famous move.
Yes.
Nobody home.
You are messed up, Michael. Tag, Jason. There we go. Woo.
Style and Shane makes the tag. Mike Maverick and Frenchy Riviera in, and Frenchy goes to town.
Get up, Maverick.
Frenchy Riviera takes over in the match on Mike Maverick. Maverick caught in the center of the ring. Jason Lee and Style and Shane Eaton across the way. Boy, this has been a wild matchup in this tag team match here on MCW.
Come on, Frenchy. You got him. You got him now. You got him now. Throw them together, fellas.
They're gonna run them together in the ring.
Whoa. Ooh, doggies. That's it.
Frenchy Riviera.
Cover that big old fat Frenchy. Oh,
Shane
stanky
Eaton
thing.
goes out onto the floor. Frenchy Riviera in the corner. Shane Eaton, worse for wear on the floor. There you see Jason Lee.
Come on,
following
Maverick.
in.
Cover him, man.
Gonna
Knock
slam
him
in.
down.
Reversal. Oh! Jason Lee is down. Frenchy Riviera taken to the ropes. Mike Maverick catches him with
Cover
the
him,
fist
Maverick.
coming off. Jason Lee is down on the floor. Maverick is alone in the ring. Frenchy Riviera catches him. Oh, look at the drop kick to the back of Frenchy. 1, 2, 3. He got him!
Big fat stanky Frenchy.
The new tag team in MCW, Ladies Night Out, get the victory here today.
They could be champs.
We're looking at the tag team of the future in MCW, Style and Shane, and Frenchy Riviera will be back with more after this.
Oh, it's a big one tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds Arena.
Saturday, April 4th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena, MCW presents the Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card. a tribute to one of the greatest pioneers in professional wrestling. Help us celebrate the life of Tojo Yamamoto with Nashville's hottest wrestling lineup ever. The Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card, Saturday, April 4th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena.
Stephen Dunn, Reno Riggins. Yeah, you show your tape from Dickson, Tennessee of you beating us with chairs and beating us down and down and down. But you could have shown that tape anywhere. Lebanon, Springfield, it doesn't matter because it's all the same thing. You gotta be beating people up with chairs. Well, okay, Big Daddy, let's talk about this. Since we are always going with the rules, we're deciding to take advantage of the 80 people in the front row at the fairgrounds. Now, you talk about chairs, we and big boy Frenchy here, we got plenty of friends. We got 80 of them in the front row. If you want to come on down, come on down. All I got to do is ask a friendly little lady and show them a little bit of love, and they'll give me a chair so we can fight back just a little bit more, too. Now, Big Frenchy, tell them what it's going to be like this Saturday night at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena. Tell them what we're going to do, Big Daddy.
Why don't you listen up, Stephen Dunn and Reno Riggins? Come on out to Nashville, but be sure and bring in belts with you. Shine them up real good, because as Styling Shane said, we got 80 friends sitting each front row ringside. You said something about the chair shot in Dickson was an appetizer. Brother, look at me. I don't mess with appetizers. I like buffets. So bring every damn chair out the back you can find, because like we said, we got 80 front row, all four way around the ring. So bring it on. Bring the belt. And Stephen Dunn, Reno Riggins, you put the belts up against us. And Stephen Dunn, I think your last name may just say it perfect. Your title reign is done.
Ladies and gentlemen, last Friday night in Dickson, Tennessee, in front of a capacity crowd, Brickhouse Brown entered the ring on the Colorado Kid's match, brutally attacking the Colorado Kid. Watch this footage, and then I'll be right back to discuss it. Well, as you see, 3 pile drivers, ladies and gentlemen. I've talked to the Colorado Kid. Yes, he has a neck injury, but he will be in Nashville this Thursday night for the big TV taping, and he may be there tonight. Brickhouse Brown, I would not turn your back if I was you, because I've known the Colorado Kid for almost 6 years, and he will get even. Brickhouse Brown, you say you want higher matches on the card? I think you're headed for some trouble, son.
I'm standing here with the title of the North American Heavyweight Champion. But some days you just may not feel like the champion, and I guess you just don't look like him. As of last Saturday night, I'm standing here with a pair of bruised ribs. I'm standing here with a beat-up head, all at the hands of a 500-pound, 7-foot guy that looks like he eats people named King Mabel. Now, all the last thing I remember was I'm in the ring and my feet are jerked out from under you, and Mabel starts putting the boots to me outside on the floor. He ends up splashing me 2 times, while the Tennessee Volunteers, big tough guys, are in there 2-on-1 against Doug Gilbert, who happens to be one of my best friends in the whole world, guys. And you just put him out of wrestling for I don't know how long. I don't know when he's coming back. But I'm going to tell you what, King Mabel, tonight in Nashville, there's going to be another match. That's between me and you. This belt against your belt. But your belt is not really what I'm concerned about, King Mabel. That's not it at all. What I'm going to get tonight, and I'm going to promise you this, that when you come to Nashville, Wolfie D is one. And I'm coming there to get a piece of your 12 sandwich eating tonight, right there in front of all my people. I'm taking up for Doug Gilbert. I'm taking up for myself. And whatever I got to do, King Mabel, I don't care. I understand that you're 7 foot tall. I understand that you're 500 pounds. But I also understand that I'm really mad and my heart weighs 500 pounds. And I'm fighting in front of all my people right there in Nashville who love Wolfie D and know that Wolfie D can beat King Mabel right there tonight. And I can promise you, I'm giving you 110%.
Let's go on tour with MCW.
I get tons of fan mail every week. Of course, it's Princess D. I'm going to get the fan mail. But, you know, lately there's been some letters coming to me in Brentwood. It's kind of disturbing, and I just want to share one of them with you today. My dear Princess, you are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Well, of course I am. I'm Princess D, and everybody knows that. I would love to come see you in Brentwood and party. Well, first of all, we don't party in Brentwood. We have balls and we have teas and we have functions. I have never felt this way about anyone before. I think of you all the time. Call me right away and let's get together. All of my love, Styling Shane Eden. Let's get real, Shane Eden. Do you think that you would ever have a chance with Princess D? If you do, you are deadly wrong, baby. Let me tell you, don't be sending me the flowers. I don't want any more of these letters. I don't want to hear from you because actually I hate you, and all them women out there are so jealous of me because you are so in love with me, Shane Eden. So you can get over it. Quit sending these. They're disturbing to me. Don't send no more flowers because I will not give you the time of day because I want a real man, and that's exactly what I'm going to get. So get used to it and face the fact, baby, because you can never have Princess D.
Saturday, April 4th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena, MCW presents the Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card, a tribute to one of the greatest pioneers in professional wrestling. Help us celebrate the life of Tojo Yamamoto with Nashville's hottest wrestling lineup ever. The Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card, Saturday, April 4th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you were not in Nashville last Saturday night, you missed one of the greatest cards I've ever promoted. Over 400 fans. In fact, in that main event, Mabel splashing Wolfie D while the Tennessee Volunteers held him was one of the most cowardice acts I've ever seen. We have no footage to show you. You have to come see the matches live in Nashville, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss it. It got so wild last week. One of the fans, he went called 911. We had ambulances all over the place. I tell you what, it's going to be extreme tonight in Nashville. Don't miss MCW Wrestling. You miss one night, you've missed it all. Oh, it's a big one tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Battle of the Champions, MCW Wrestling, the World Tag Team Champions, the NWA World Tag Team Champions, perhaps the most famous tag team ever put together in professional wrestling, the Rock and Roll Express, in action against the Volunteers, Reno Riggins, Stephen Dunn, the Southern Tag Team Champions here on MCW. This is a main event. This is a pay-per-view match. There won't be any bigger than these two teams.
Well, there's only one word Billy Joe can say about this match. Wow!
And you've got it right here. Michael St. John, Billy Joe Travis at ringside, witnessing this one. The Rock and Roll Express. They were youngsters in the 70s. They were superstars in the 80s. And now they're the perennial World Tag Team Champions in action against Stephen Dunn and Reno Riggins. If there has been a formidable tag team formed since the formation of MCW, this is it. The epitome of tag team wrestling. You got it right here. Look at that. Hip toss. There's one for Reno Riggins. And that, Robert Gibson going to work.
When you look at Rick and Robert, let me tell you, Michael, I will give the devil the due. They have been the world's greatest tag team that Billy Joe has ever seen.
Robert Gibson, second-generation wrestler, had a famous brother, his brother Ricky Gibson, and a phenomenal tactician in the sport. He teamed with this young man, Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton's father, of course, the infamous Paul Morton in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And boy, what a team they became. And look at this. That's what makes them so good.
I agree 100%. They have beaten everybody that's anybody.
Absolutely. And I have seen, and I know Billy Joe Travis, you as a wrestler know this for a fact. You name a tag team, whether it be the Road Warriors, you name a brother.
The Russians, Nikolai Volkov.
And you name it. They beat them all. The Polish Power, Ivan Putski, when he was a tag team wrestler. You name it. They have battled them. They have beat them. But don't sell the team of Stephen Dunn and Reno Riggins short. In just a few short weeks, they become the Southern Tag Team Champions here on MCW. You've got a man in Stephen Dunn that was part of Well Done, a very famous tag team in his own right. You've got a man in Reno Riggins that has been all around the world, one of the great power lifters in the world today, and they too are a very formidable tag team. And look at this.
Michael, this could be the greatest match of their career tonight.
Look at this. They lock up. Robert Gibson now. Here's Ricky Gibson tossed around here. Nope. Look at that. No way to call that action.
No way. Man, see, that's what an experienced tag team. See, Reno and Steve haven't been together that long. The Rock and Roll Express have been together for at least 15 years.
And there
these guys have got to wake up.
And there you see some of the reaction. They don't quite know where the Rock and Roll is going to show up next, where Ricky and Robert are liable to come out from. And right now, Reno Riggins and Stephen Dunn, they have their hands full.
Well, they've got a sellout crowd here tonight, and the people are getting their money's worth.
Reno Riggins, Stephen Dunn, trying to regain their senses, trying to formulate some kind of game plan to take the battle to the Rock and Roll Express. You know, the only problem I ever see or hear about the Rock and Roll Express are they are in such demand. I mean, this is a tag team that has wrestled in China. They have wrestled, you mentioned Russia, they have wrestled in Russia. They've wrestled in Australia. You name a continent, you name an area, you name a city, and the Rock and Roll Express has appeared there.
Well, like I said, Michael, they have been everywhere, and they've beaten everybody that's anybody. I mean, you can't take anything away from them. I mean, they've been together for so long, they know each other's moves. You know, Reno and Steve hadn't been together that long. You know, Billy Joe has got to call it like he sees it. And, you know, tonight, you know, I kind of feel sorry for Steve and Reno.
Well,
but you never can tell.
That's right. If they wouldn't put them in the match, they wouldn't get in the ring if the outcome were so obvious. This outcome cannot be obvious because you've got two tag teams that can definitely handle themselves. You've got Ricky and Robert at the pinnacle of their career, and you've got Stephen Dunn and Reno Riggins. They've gotten the belts, and they are still getting bigger and better each week.
Well, Michael, you don't get to be champions by being jabronis. These two guys have worked hard all of their wrestling careers, and tonight, they're going to prove what they can do, I hope.
Stephen Dunn climbing back through the ropes. Thus far tonight, or thus far on this program, you have seen a tremendous matchup. You have seen the prowess, if you would, of the Rock and Roll Express. Two wrestlers that have worked together so well for so many years. And you have seen Steve Dunn and Reno Riggins attempt to neutralize that prowess, to neutralize that experience. And thus far, it has been everything it has been matched up to be. It has been everything that the World Wide Web said it would be. A classic matchup between these two tag teams.
That's why I'm out here. I came to see this match. This is the match Billy Joe came to see.
And Steve Dunn on the floor again. It looks as if that Reno Riggins and Steve Dunn are formulating a game plan to take the timing away from the Rock and Roll Express. If the Rock and Roll Express should get things going their way, they're taking to the safety of the floor.
Well, that's what you call strategy, Michael. I mean, when those guys take to the floor, they're just planning what they're going to do next. What they're going to have to do is get in there and fight.
In the past with the Rock and Roll Express, we have seen them tag in and out very quickly, very quickly. Thus far today, we have seen Ricky Morton take the battle thus far to Steve Dunn and Reno Riggins. Looks like they're going to make the tag. Now we're going to see Riggins in the match. One thing about Dunn and Riggins in the past, especially over the past few weeks here on MCW, they've been very cocky, Billy Joe. But today, it seems like they are very serious, very down-to-earth, very much business-like in this tag team match.
Michael, when you wrestle the Rock and Roll Express, you got to be serious.
There you see the upper body strength of Reno Riggins come to play as he came off the ropes and threw a shoulder block into Ricky Morton to take him off his feet.
Well, Michael, you know, Reno's got a great body, but let me tell you something, muscles don't fight back. And Ricky Morton, one of the top stars in the country today with Robert Gibson, and they know that.
Well, again, the pace of this match being slowed a bit by the Volunteers against the Rock and Roll Express, and that to the advantage of the Volunteers. They don't want to fight the Rock and Roll Express's battle plan because, as you know, the Rock and Roll Express likes to do things very quickly. They use their quickness to their advantage in situations where they're at a size disadvantage, in situations where they step in the ring with opponents they don't know about. They use the quickness, the tag in, quick, 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 quick. And right now, Reno Riggins and Stephen Dunn just slowing down the pace of the match.
That's why the Rock and Roll Express are the NWA World Champions. They might not have the size. They have beaten people like the Russians, like the Germans, and everybody else because of speed and psychology.
Reno Riggins working on Ricky Morton, and Morton gets him coming out. Inverted atomic drop. That'll take a little bit of the sting out of Reno Riggins, or perhaps put a little of the sting into Reno Riggins as he is down in the corner.
Well, Reno needs a tag right now. They need a fresh man in there.
Billy Joe Travis, earlier in the week, had the opportunity to talk to Jimmy Cornette, who is sort of the spokesperson, if you would, for the NWA. And Jimmy Cornette told me that he said, Michael, when you see the Rock and Roll Express this week on MCW, they are probably better tuned in their game plan, in their formation of how they conduct the match, more so now than at any time in their career. And you know, so far, that's exactly what we're seeing.
Well, Michael, they say you don't get older, you just get better. And that's exactly what I'm seeing today.
Well, I can assure you this, the experience of the veteran team, the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, this is, by standards, is still a very young team in the world of professional wrestling. But the fact of the matter is, they are doing battle with a team that has the opportunity to climb the same rungs of the ladder as the Rock and Roll Express. And you're looking at them right there. Stephen Dunn, who already has a lot of experience behind him, and Reno Riggins, who has experience but has that strength factor that can bring so much to the table for this tag team.
Well, what Reno and Steve need to do right now, Michael, is just to think about it and go out there outside the ring and just talk about it just for a minute and get everything what they need to do. They just need to get in there and they need to fight like the Rock and Roll Express are fighting.
I saw it. I had an opportunity to call a match between the Fabulous Ones and the Rock and Roll Express one time. And the one thing in that match that I saw the Rock and Roll Express do to their advantage is do what they're doing right now, and that is cut off the ring. Cut off the ring in half to make it to where you can't get to your partner. If you can do that, you can win the match. Look at this. Set up Ricky Morton with the patented atomic drop. Cut to him by Jackie Fargo. He put Stephen Dunn down, and Dunn falls right out of the ring.
What those guys need to do, like I said, Michael, they need to just sit down for a minute and talk about this, because they're getting nowhere. I mean, it's been all the Rock and Roll Express.
Reno Riggins, Stephen Dunn talking over the situation just as Billy Joe Travis suggested. And Dunn across the way on the floor. Ricky and Robert making things very uncomfortable for the Volunteers, the tag champions of MCW, the Southern Tag Champions. And Dunn coming back into the ring. He's not very anxious to tie it up again. I believe you're right, Billy Joe. I think he needs to recapture some of that desire, if you would, to get back in there and take the fight right to the Rock and Roll Express.
You know, Steve Dunn, like, he's been around for many, many years, and he is a great wrestler. And, you know, this is one of the biggest matches of Reno Riggins and Steve Dunn's career.
You know, as I watch these men in action, I can't help but think, and here on MCW, Nashville, Tennessee has been the starting point, if you would, the fertile ground, the fallow ground of so many great professional wrestlers. And we're seeing 4 classic wrestlers in there today on this program that all hail from basically the same area of the country, but have made their name worldwide. The Rock and Roll Express already making their name and living on a very strong name, but a team of the Volunteers who are becoming very well known throughout the world, not only on our wrestling program here at MCW, but via the World Wide Web.
Like you said, Michael, this could be a main event anywhere in the country. Any pay-per-view, this could be a great main event.
Whoa, look at that move. A good move by Steve Dunn. He watched the eyes of Ricky Morton as Morton charged in. He moved aside, and now Steve Dunn takes over on Morton. Referee is keeping Robert Gibson at bay, trying to get him out of the ring, allowing the opportunity for Riggins and Dunn to work over Ricky Morton.
Well, Michael, that's what you got to do. You got to stay on the Rock and Roll Express. If you give them one, just one little, you've got to stay on them.
Well, they looked for that opening. They were very meticulous about slowing down the match, looking for the Rock and Roll Express to make one mistake, looking for that one opening, and now they're taking advantage of it.
Well, they've got what they wanted right now. Now, what Reno needs to do is just stay on Ricky Morton. There you go, guys. Just keep tagging in and out.
Double teaming on Morton. They pick him up, going for a slam. Nope, going to drop him down across the bended knee, and Ricky Morton is down. That will take the breath out of you.
Cover him, Steve.
Steve Dunn's going to drop some elbows first, wear him down a little further. Remember, he needs to he needs to keep Robert Gibson at bay, and as I say that, he charges after Robert Gibson. Oh, Robert comes charging back in now. The referee is caught.
Well, he needs to put him out of there. He needs to put Robert Gibson out of there.
Robert Gibson knows better. There's a major fine if he touches an official. and he knows better here in MCW than to do that. Oh, look at that, belly-to-belly suplex, and down goes Ricky Morton.
Now covering Reno. This could be it, Michael. This could be new champions.
Could be a major upset in the world of professional wrestling. He got a 2 count, but Gibson looking for the tag on Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton kicking out, and as I said that, Robert Gibson in the corner looking for the tag allowed Reno Riggins the advantage to be taken back away.
Well, it's going to take more than that to beat Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. These guys have been around. They know what's going on.
What a match this has been. We have been locked into battle for almost 15 minutes here, and it has not stopped. A classic matchup of 2 tag teams. Look at this, Stephen Dunn coming into the ring. Why is he in there? They're going to exchange places while the referee has got his back turned. Robert Gibson is getting quite upset in the corner. He wants to make the tag, but unfortunately has not had the opportunity. And at every chance that the referee has talked to Robert Gibson when Robert has tried to intervene, the team of Riggins and Dunn have come in.
Well, Michael, Reno and Steve are getting their stuff together right now, and they're taking over. That's great. You know, I love the MCW, and I love Reno Riggins and Steve Dunn. Now look at Ricky Morton just fighting with a fist.
The tide of this match could be turning right here. Look at this, Morton into the corner.
Covering now, Reno, covering. This could be it.
Flying power slam, 1, 2,
Ring the bell.
Ricky Morton kicking out at the 2 count. Tag made by Riggins. Here comes Stephen Dunn back in here.
Stay on him, guys. Stay on him. There you go.
The momentum in this match was all Rock and Roll Express until a critical mistake by Ricky Morton, and he rammed his shoulder into the steel pole when Steve Dunn moved out of the way. And it has been all the volunteers since then, as Dunn and Riggins have taken the fight right to the Rock and Roll
Well,
Express.
Michael, you know, I might be just a little bit prejudiced, but I'd love to see Stephen Dunn and Reno Riggins, the Tennessee Volunteers, bring those belts back here right now.
The NWA World Tag Team belts held by Ricky and Robert. The Southern Tag Team belts held by Dunn and Riggins. And this match, what a classic.
Both titles on the line.
Look over here on the floor. Reno Riggins is picking up Ricky Morton and slamming him into the ring apron. And you, Billy Joe Travis, I know have felt the piercing pain that can cause to the lower back.
Well, I've had ruptured disc, and I've had all kinds of injuries. Let me tell you something, that's nothing to play with when you get your lower back hurt.
Cover by Dunn, and quickly, again, Ricky Morton showing how that experience shows off, knowing exactly where he was in the ring, put his foot over the rope.
Smart move, Michael.
Well, right now, Dunn may be making a mistake. He's allowing some time to pass. He needs to stay on his man if they're going to take this victory.
Well, you can't give the Rock and Roll Express no time. Look at this. I told you can't give the Rock and Roll Express no time. Come on, Steve, you need to get a tag.
Snap DDT off the rope by Ricky Morton. Morton needs to make a tag. Dunn needs to make a tag. Let's see who gets what.
Come on, Steve.
Dunn
tag Reno. Here we go. Here we go. Tag him.
Tag is made. Here comes Ricky Gibson, or Robert Gibson rather. Robert Gibson clearing house in the ring. He wanted the tag and he finally got it. It's been Ricky Morton's fight up until now.
Come on, guys.
But Robert Gibson going to town. Ricky and Robert both in the ring right now. Stephen Dunn, Reno Riggins caught in either corner, and across the way you see Robert Gibson, there you see Ricky Morton, and they are just pounding away at these two.
Well, it's getting out of hand right now.
They're run together in the ring. Reno Riggins goes to the floor. Ricky Morton remains in the ring with Stephen Dunn, and Robert Gibson goes to the floor. Dunn with an uppercut from his knees.
Come on, Steve, you got him now. You got him in the ring, right by yourself. Come on, go to work on him. Come on now. Watch out!
Riviera's in the ring. Oh, look at this! Frenchy Riviera came to the aid of the Rock and Roll Express as Reno Riggins headed into the ring with a chair. Frenchy Riviera.
Man, I'm getting up and I'm gonna go kick his big.
He was in the wings watching the match.
Wait a minute, they brought the chair in the ring, Gene.
Well, the referee, they're trying to sort things out here. While they're sorting it out, we'll take a break. We'll be back.
He was going to hit. With me now, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, the owner of the Dickson Convention Center in Freeport, USA, Miss Claudine. We are sure happy to be here. Wrestling every time we come here just grows and grows and grows every month, and we're sure happy to be here every month.
Thank you. I'm happy to have you here every month, too.
Tell some of the fans out there, and you know, we go over to 160 stations nationwide. This is a beautiful facility right here in Dickson, Tennessee. What all do you have going on here?
Well, I have a lot. I have a flea market the first weekend of every month. I have a T. Graham Brown concert coming up in April. I have a Native American show coming up in April. I also have a woman show coming up, gun and knife show coming up. I said we've got a lot of things happening down here. It's 40,000 square feet. That's how big this building is.
And let me tell you something, Brian, if you'll put her number up there on the screen, you can rent this facility in Dickson. It's very economical. And let me tell you, you can pack a lot of people in here because when wrestling comes month after month, we run out of chairs, it seems, every time we come to town.
Yes, you do. It gets bigger. I keep telling you to bring more chairs.
That's right. If you want a great facility to rent, all you folks out there, flea markets, I tell you what, you're going to have a great show in here, gospel show, dance. Call the Dickson Convention Center now, ladies and gentlemen. The number's there on the screen. Talk to Miss Claudine. Now it's on to wrestling.
Once again, Princess, the promoters of MCW done it to me again. Got me being a curtain jerker when I main event all over the world, every promotion. But it's all good, because no matter who they feed to me, I'm going to slap slob from their mouth tonight, because I'm going to make a point, and that point is I deserve to be in the main event. So keep feeding me them suckers, because I'm going to hurt somebody and take them out, and I ain't responsible for what happened to whoever I get in the ring with tonight. Tell them something, baby.
Let me tell you something. It's about time that some class gets some exposure around here, and we're not first match. We want to be main event, and that's exactly what we're going to be, whether you like it or whether you don't.
Whoever you put in the ring with me, ain't no thorn on my side. I got way too many important things to worry about, like keeping my woman satisfied.
Saturday, April 4th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena, MCW presents the Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card, a tribute to one of the greatest pioneers in professional wrestling. Help us celebrate the life of Tojo Yamamoto with Nashville's hottest wrestling lineup ever. The Tojo Yamamoto Memorial Card, Saturday, April 4th at the Nashville Fairgrounds Sports Arena.